Good morning, 2nd of August 21. Supply, crew, disruption 89. We have a huge, beautiful report of International Chamber of Shipping and also BIMCO Secretary General and CEO David Losley explaining that in 2026 there will be huge shortage of supply and demand of officers, and therefore we are starting to see this where, let's say, in the hot areas, there is huge disruption in training in Europe. Is 27 members, and that they cannot get their act together towards fighting coronavirus. So how could they get their act together towards fighting supply of officers? I mean, you can ask something about our future in 1,000 years. It would be a nice question, yes, but it's the same thing if you ask European Union about the training of maritime officers. Yes, they would not get their act together, and they probably need to have some meetings, and who knows when these meetings will be, and so on. Therefore, there is going to be a huge disruption in officer supply, and this is going to go towards the price. Wonder why in USA they are asking about why is the transport going up the prices so much. Well, let me explain to you. Listen, I mean, you have been not so efficient in the dealings with this coronavirus. Therefore, it's the same thing for officer training worldwide, and it's the same thing for tax, health, education, and security. We could all live in this planet with 5% tax, but you have not been able to adapt to this circumstance. So there is some areas that are going to be disrupted by this supply and demand. One of them is shipping. Why? Because it's so difficult to find crew, and the wages of the officers are going up so high that someone will have to pay that, and that's the end consumer. So you can really lower all the taxes and the overheads around it so that we can all have a flat 5% tax rate, because it's the only way we can avoid this crisis generated for these 250 governments just misrunning this virus. So the same thing is happening now with these officers. And of course, this tsunami, we don't need 5 tsunamis like coronavirus. With one tsunami, it's good enough. This one, we know it's here. So please, put your belts, enjoy the trip, and know that this supply disruption of crew is here to stay. If you're a ship owner, please think twice if your collective bargaining agreement, like in the Spanish flag, it is very fixed, and you cannot negotiate a top cook, second engineer, aside from the other ranks. Why? Because those 3 ranks I just mentioned are going to be the hot potato chili. Therefore, we are going to need to have some flexibility in those ranks. And if you cannot, if your collective bargaining agreement does not allow you to negotiate some ranks yes, some ranks not, then that is a risk situation that is going to go forward. So we need the ship owners to realize about this risk. This is the main thing, so that we face and we analyze what are we going to do about this. Well, one of the options is to join Candina, because we have a lot of policies to reduce this risk. A lot of ship owners are asking how many people does Candina use in the selection department, and my reply is, well, how can we account for 25 years working non-stop in the crew management business, or is it 120 years and also having this digital, this YouTube channel, and having this, we have now a podcast, Candina News, having this social media, and all this huge database in all the strategic offices. This is going to really fight much better and make us prepare ourselves for this future very, very, very competitive arena that we need to face for the supply of officers, especially this International Chamber of Shipping study. You can see it in internet, and also Baltic International Maritime Secretary General talking about this huge shortage. So there is going to be a huge disruption in shipping, and there is many tactics that we can use to face this risk. So please, welcome. We are here ready to talk about this because it is going to be complicated, especially if you have also constraint, like for example, 50% European crew, if you have a constraint of about trade, if you have a constraint about quarantine, if you have a constraint about this port does not allow these changes of these nationalities, if you have a constraint about the flights, the travel, the PCRs, types of vaccines, if it is crew without vaccine, without vaccine. So it is becoming very, very, very complicated, and therefore shipping will have to face this very strongly. So thank you very much indeed for your time. Like and subscribe. Yes, we will need to talk more about this because it will be the tsunami will arrive, as I mentioned, in the ETO, in the second engineer, and in the cook. These are going to be the first three ranks that we're going to suffer, and that we will have to fight with each other to get the best talent and maintain the talent. If you are a Z millennial, join shipping. There is plenty of opportunities, and we need you today. Thank you very much indeed. Take care. Bye.